and welcome back to 5 on Fridays. I'm Ashley, the dietitian working with Healthy Columbus. I have with me Maddie and Gabrielle, and we are here today to talk about diet culture, which is something that I think a lot of people maybe aren't even aware of, but it's kind of just this pervasive belief that thinness and eating healthy are equated with almost moral judgments, right? You are good, there are good foods, you are healthy, you are doing the right thing. So yeah, we just kind of wanted to talk about what that definition meant to each of us, why it's problematic, and then how you can kind of, with this knowledge, leverage that to improve your health and just your relationship with food and eating in general. So just kind of want to kick it over to Maddie if you want to.
Love it. Yeah, I'm so excited to talk about this today. If I haven't met you yet, I am Maddie Bidwell. I'm a registered dietitian with Ohio Health and got to start working with you all this year. So you may have seen some of our cooking demos come out, maybe some newsletters, the recipe corner. So be on the lookout for more of that. But as we talk about diet culture, like you said, it's this obsession with the thinness and having some kind of moral implication there, right? But when we think about health, it's so much more than how much we weigh, right? It's how is our mental well-being? How are we relating to food? Can we move in ways that feel good in our bodies, right? It's can we live life to the fullest without our bodies kind of getting in the way of that, right? And so sometimes, we narrow it down to just weight, but there's so many aspects.
Absolutely. And you had said something earlier, I think, when we were chatting about it, and it was a really nice summary.
Yeah, just a concise way to think about diet culture is equating thinness and health. Yeah. It's being thin does not mean that you're healthy. Being healthy does not mean that you're thin. They are not a coexisting
Absolutely.
thing.
Yeah. And I think, some of where that becomes problematic, right, is like we think, thinness, you've got to diet, you got to get on the latest diet trend, intermittent fasting, for example. I actually met with someone earlier this week and they were doing intermittent fasting. They already had some blood sugar issues and it was really bad for them. It was bad for their bodies, but they were just trying to follow that latest trend and trying to do the right thing. And I hear a lot, and you may as well, a lot of shame, right? I ate bad. I should have done this. I'm doing it wrong. And that can be problematic, right? Physically, right? We see that yo-yo dieting, because we'll do the latest crash diet, we lose weight. It's not sustainable. We gain it, we lose it, we gain it. That impacts our blood sugar. It can, raise cholesterol over time. And then the mental, right? The mental piece that goes with it. I think people don't recognize how problematic that is. So, we stress, there's shame, there's guilt, there's, all these negative feelings that we now associate with all these other health conditions, right? Like 70 to 90% of doctor's visits, I think, are stress related. So we're stressing ourselves out trying to be healthier, but it's kind of making it worse. So
yeah, I love that you hit on the yo-yo dieting. Something I'm sure you have seen in your nutrition counseling, and I see as well, right? Is that so many folks come in and they've tried a million different diets over the years, and they're like, here I am again, and I feel like I've gotten nowhere with this. And like you said, just the mental impact that it has, and feeling like, well, I have failed then somehow by not being able to continue this. But what we don't realize, right, is that all of these diets that really are being restrictive, right, so we're not getting the nutrients we need, they're also impacting our metabolism. They can actually slow it down, which is ultimately working against us, right? But I think we struggle to even see that that's what's happening, because we're being told by all of these health food companies, these diet plans, that this is the thing we need to do to be healthy. But in reality, I think it's important maybe we talk about what does it mean then to eat healthy, right?
Absolutely.
If we're going to move away from this one train of thought, what should I even be moving towards? So I'm curious your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think something that we should just speak about for a moment is, why are we wanting to lose weight? What is your goal in this? If it is for your health, you can speak to a dietitian, but just maintaining a 5 to even 10% weight loss, which might not move you into a quote unquote healthy BMI category, is significantly going to help all of these biomarkers and help you get into a physiologically healthier state. So is your weight loss because you want to appeal to the norms that society is posing is attractive? I think there's a big question that maybe you would like to talk to us in the future more about, is setting up an appointment to decide what is weight loss serving you.
Right.
I think that's a great point. Yeah, what's your end goal, right? If it's health, Like, you know, I know so many people that they're like, I was my unhealthiest when I was my skinniest, right? But we can absolutely meet with you, talk with you. How do you properly fuel your body? Like, get the nutrients you need, feel the best you do, have your biomarkers looking the best, and whatever that number on the scale is kind of secondary. So,
and I love that you said when you meet with a dietitian, of course, we can tell you how to eat, right? But at the heart of it, we want you to be able to recognize maybe how diet culture has become pervasive in your own life. Maybe are there food police in your head where you see foods as black or white, good or bad? And can we help you begin to recognize some of those things so that you feel like you have food freedom? You can eat the food in front of you, enjoy eating out with your friends, you know, feeling like there's no food that's off limits, right? So that's some of what we can do as well when we meet with you all, is kind of, working through all the sludge of diet culture that we don't even recognize gets stuck in our minds, right?
Yeah, and I think you like hitting that too, just like how do you feel when you eat the food, that relationship with it, right? We're not saying like go overboard, go eat ice cream every day and like love it and like that's perfect. It's just like a healthier relationship, and recognizing that food goes beyond like the nutrients and calories in our bodies, right? It's used for celebration. It's like cultural, you know, so how do we still fold that in, but in a healthy way, right? We're not saying like go off the charts and like, go just eat everything, be 500 pounds and like you're gonna be healthy, you know? So like coming to that happy medium. And I think kind of just speaking to that is it's gonna look different for every person, which is why it is nice. Like come in, chat one-on-one, we can really figure out what that like means for you.
Definitely. I think one last point that I wanted to share too is we talk about diet culture, right? And one thing that I don't want this to come across as is that if you have done a diet, you're somehow inferior, or if a diet has worked for you that it shouldn't have. What we find is that diets can work really well for some people, but for the vast majority, they are experiencing the yo-yo dieting and the shame. So if dieting is something that you want to do in a way that's going to be sustainable and healthy for your body, we'd love to chat with you about that. We're not going to push you one way or another. We just want to provide the information and support you as best we can. So I just wanted to make sure that we touched on that too.
Yeah, even if you need to unpack a little bit more about what diet culture is, what's true that you're seeing on social media, what is not true that you're seeing on social media, and just creating a healthier relationship with food and diet for yourself are all things that we could talk about.
Amazing. As you can see, so much we could cover here, right? But if you're interested in learning more, of course, feel free to reach out.
Cool. Thanks. Thank you, and see you guys next time.
See ya.